Hi everybody, I got a good opportunity. Dad's got the backhoe out and he wants to install this drain pipe. He's going to be putting a gutter on this lean-to thing here, and it's going to have a downspout, and it's going to run into this pipe over here underground, and we're going to have a drainage system that flows out back towards the woods. So while he's digging a trench, I might as well lay my electric wire. So I've decided to use 30 amp wire. I want 30 amps of power. And it's going to run along my Tinyhouse. And I'm going to get started on the digging. Alright guys, fast forward a little bit here, and we got pretty far, and I used that gutter down there. It's kind of like a straight edge. It's pretty long. It's like an 8-footer, and I have that little level inside of it. And I check for grade and make sure that it's on a slope, and then I tamp it down when we're finished. So we've had some pretty big rocks, but we've gotten pretty far, maybe 50 feet or so. Hello everyone. As you can see, my dad's been helping him dig this trench, and it's basically a drainage system. It's gonna connect to this gutter. All the roof, this is 60-foot span of roof here. It's gonna go into this gutter, and then it's gonna come down the downspout into this pipe and go all the way out towards the woods. So it's been putting up lately, and we've decided that we want to do this. We've had this pipe for years. We didn't know what to do with it, so here's a perfect use. So anyways, I had the decision that I wanted to bury my electric line as he was already digging up the ground. So I made this little section here that is going to branch off. Alright guys, I'm going to be direct burying this wiring about 24 inches deep, which is about the length of the bucket. Very rooty here. Wow. Alright guys, I've done already 35 feet of trench, and I'm right on top of a ledge, so I can't see that. I can't go any deeper, so I'm gonna smooth it out. It's working pretty good. Looks pretty straight, and I'd say alright guys, I turned around here. I'm coming from the trench. It's kind of like a Y. I'm intersecting into the trench, and then it's going to be running over towards the house that way. Alright guys, you got a rock here that's probably the weight of a car. It was all the way around. Pretty huge. Alright guys, there's our big boulder rock. Gosh, it took us a while to get that out of the trench here, but it was right in the way of the trench. Alright guys, I'm finding out where that 3-ton rock was. I'm just gonna go back and get the shovel and smooth it out. Guys, see the rod that's all on it? I'm gonna move it. Alright guys, I'm going to do this to the rest of the length of the wire here, and then I'm going to put that red caution buried electric tape a couple inches from the surface. So I want this tape a couple inches under the topsoil. Alright guys, so here's the tape. I dug a little trench here, and I'm having my dad bury it while I kind of keep it held down. And so I aligned the pipe over top of the electric wire over here, and I stepped on it to hold it down while he buried it, and we just put a couple loads all the way down, and then we're gonna smooth it off like we did over here. So you can see it looks pretty good. Smoothed it off nice, and I'm gonna keep rolling this tape out. York rake. Alright guys, now that I ran the box scraper, I'm going to use the York rake and get all the stones out from the dirt. Hi guys, this is called the disconnect box. This is what I want to be on the outside of my building right here. So the purpose of this box is to be able to disconnect it from the outside. If I ever wanted to move this building or sell it, I could easily disconnect the power without ripping out all my walls and taking all the wire out of it. So I got this 10-3 direct burial wire here, and I put it up to a 3/4 piece of conduit my dad had, and it's the perfect size. So I bought a 10-foot length, a 3/4 conduit. That's going to go up from the ground, up on the side of the building to protect the wire. It's going to come in the bottom of this hole here. I'm going to punch it out, and then I'm going to put this adapter on the bottom, and then this kind of bushing, I guess you'd call it, and then that'll go in the bottom, and then I'll screw it on from the inside. That's going to protect it. And then I'm going to hook up my wire to this ground bar, and then to the lugs here. And then after that, I'm going to use these conduit clamps, and they're going to be screwed on the side here, and then they'll just go over the conduit like that to keep a nice neat look. And then I'll wire it into the panel box onto the inside. Alright guys, this is pretty stiff wire. Try and get the ground in. I do have a ratchet setting on. Alright guys, so these are line wires. These are 120 volts each. They're hot wires. And these are the ones that bring the power into the building. And then the load's the one that powers. So I am going to put the red one on the left side. And then I'm going to put the black one over here. I'm going to try to keep it pretty neat, but this is pretty stiff wire to work with. And you want to make sure that a little wire is showing down so you don't get the sheathing caught in it, and then that'll mess with you. Alright. This is the neutral wire. And the wire that's coming out of here, I'm going to tie with this one. The other neutral and this one with a wire nut. Because there is no neutral bar. Alright guys, so my dad's going to push the wires out from the inside right here. And I'm going to pull them out using this. They might come out a little hard, but... Oh, wow, that was easy. Alright, now you want a little bit of sheathing, only a little bit sticking inside your box out here. And see, I'm going to tie these two neutrals together. Guys, I'm going to use this nice wire nut here, and I'm going to tie my neutrals together. Alright, now, since the red wire is on this side, I'm going to put this red wire on this side. Screwdriver. And then now this is a nice screwdriver and it has a ratchet feature. Oh, this way. There we go. Alright. Now there's a ground. Now this black hot wire. I'm gonna put up in here. Alright. Now we have to cram all this stuff back in the box. Guys, this is about as neat as I could get it. I checked all the connections. Everything's nice and tight. Alright. Here's your connections. Here's the on and off. So, when I go to put this in, there's a little pull tab. If I wanted to disconnect the power, and then it's off. And then I can put it back in upside down and it'd be off. If the off's facing up, that means it's off. If the on's facing up, that means that there's power to it. Just click it in. and then close the cover. And then, so next step would be to put these on, and then I'm all finished on my building here on the outside. Probably do 2 of them. And then it's like a 5-pack for $1. But these will hold the conduit in place. Alright. Get my screws. This will just keep the conduit in place. I'll put one maybe up here farther. Might put 3 on. Alright, right about here is good without bending the conduit. Alright, the clamps are on, and the outside of the electric is done. It's a nice clean look. Having it in conduit's nice, it protects it, and having it in a box protects it from the rain and weather. And I have a disconnect switch so I can disconnect the power, and happy with it. Looks good. Hey guys, today's the day I'm finally getting true power to my building. I fed a wire inside here to the sub panel box. Here's a 200 amp breaker box that's full. No more spaces to be used. We got a heat and water heater. We got some alarms over here, water alarm, more and more. The whole room is filled up. But in the sub panel over here, we have this breaker that we had an old hot tub on, and we don't use that anymore. We got rid of the hot tub. So I'm going to put it in a 30 double pole breaker here and connect my wire to that. So I'm going to leave that in so I don't get electrocuted until I'm ready to put this one in. So I'm going to wire this. Alright, first I'm going to hook up the ground. And then the neutral. And I'm going to make sure that the sheathing is not in there. I'm going to keep the sheathing out of the way. Make sure we're getting a good connection. And then there's 2 holes to put the wire in. and I'm going to put both wires on the left side, so when I tighten it up, it pulls the wire in. I'm going to keep the sheathing away. Now, we can take off this breaker. And install our new one. There we go, guys. We go out to my building and test to see if we got power. Alright guys, I checked all the connections and I'm screwing on the panel cover right now. And then I'm going to name this breaker five and 6 would be D word. Alright guys, I screwed the panel cover on and I checked all the connections are all good, so I'm going to name it. G shed. So there's the 30 amp breaker and the electrical is complete. So now that I've finished hooking up my electricity, I'm going to see if we have power. And voila, we do. We got lights and everything. So I've dragged 30 amps out here now. I used to have an extension cord, which is temporary, and I'm excited that now I have power. So I'm going to pull it out. See? Now I can easily disconnect it if I ever needed to. So here is the outside box here, and I could put a padlock on it if I wanted to, but now I'm going to go inside. I'm going to try and test my 120, one of my 120s, and I'm going to test the ground. And I'm going to try the same one with my neutral, get 120. And then now I'm going to try this hot lead, 120, with a neutral. And then the ground. And now, if I try both, I should have a total of 240. Which I do. So, that tells me that this panel box is correct. And now I want to test my GFCI outlets. So, this is a cool little checker that my dad has. And all these lights indicate something. If we have correctly wired outlets, I should light up 2 yellows. So if I plug it in here, I should have 2 yellows, which I do. And then if I trip it, see it has the light on, and so that works. And then reset it, testing our GFCI. So I think like these 4 outlets are all in the same this GFCI on this side, and you can tell by tripping all of the outlets. Reset. Test all of them and make sure they light up 2 yellows. Okay, now I'm going to try this outlet, and this should go to that GFCI. It should trip that one. So.
Whoops.
Let me try this one. Alright, so all of these outlets I just tested are all wired correctly because it indicates that there's 2 yellows, which means it's correctly wired. So I'm happy that everything's wired good. I just wanted to check that. And I'm happy that we have electricity out here. True electricity now. Final step is to put my panel cover on. So make sure to check your local code, building code, electrical code, and make sure you're doing it properly. This is proper for my area. My dad does this all the time. He's a jack of all trades. He does everything. So after I get this on, all I have to do is put my insulation back in this cavity and staple back on, and then we're on business. Because I got electricity out to my building, and it works, and it's all correct. Please subscribe, hit that bell for more future videos if you like this content. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.